So, what are some of the reasons why your F1 emergency request will be denied? In this video, I'm going to share that with you and help you with many more on how to overcome that, especially in these trying times where finding dates is difficult. Let's get right into the video. Before you apply for any emergency request, you must know that every embassy has their own rules that you must follow for your emergency request to be approved. If you are looking for how to apply for an emergency successfully, just check my video on application for an emergency, and that will help you a lot. Now, a lot of people get refused for emergency requests because they do not follow the rules. For example, there are some embassies that says that emergency appointments or emergency requests should only be done 60 days to your start date. So, if you apply for an emergency request which is not within the 60 days to your start date, your request may be denied. There are also some people who also have favorable dates, yet they go ahead to apply for emergency. If you do that, you will be rejected. Let me give you an example. Now, assuming your start date is August 20th, 2022, and you get a visa appointment date on 8 August 2022. This is a favorable date because your interview date is before your start date, way about 2 weeks. So in this case, if you think you have a reason to request for an emergency, you must prove that. For example, you might have gotten a graduate assistantship that requires you to be in school 2 weeks before the program start dates. In this case, you may request for an emergency and explain why you think they must give you a date that is favorable to the 2 weeks to your start date. And you must do that by attaching documents to prove same. The other reason why your emergency request may be refused is the content of your emergency request. When you are applying for an emergency date, there is a space given for you to explain your reason for the request. There are some people who request for emergency by writing just anything or not writing anything at all. That can go against you. So make sure you communicate clearly. Also note that you only require your I-20 in most cases, in most embassies, you only require your I-20 to apply for an emergency. You don't have to worry yourself paying for your CVs because sometimes, in most cases, as I said, CVs is not required. Finally, your emergency request may be denied if you have been denied visa in the past few months. That can also affect you because the consulates or the embassy believe that you have had a chance to be interviewed. So others must also be given the chance to be interviewed. So your request may be rejected. As I said, I've made a video on how to successfully apply for an emergency. Please check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so. Always remember, theology is fine. Trust me.